Periyar E.V. Ramasamy, 1879 to 1973, was an Indian social activist, politician, and leader who championed the cause of social justice, equality, and rationalism. Known as the father of the Dravidian movement, Periyar's efforts were aimed at abolishing the caste system, promoting women's rights, and advocating for self-respect and rational thinking. His life was marked by his uncompromising stance against Brahminical dominance and religious orthodoxy. He joined the Indian National Congress, believing that it could address social inequities. However, he soon became disillusioned with its focus on political freedom over social reform. He left the Congress and formed the Self-Respect movement in 1925, which aimed to challenge caste discrimination and religious orthodoxy. Periyar became a fierce critic of the Vedas, Hinduism, and the Brahmin caste for perpetuating inequality. His atheism, rationalism, and advocacy for Dravidian identity became central to his ideology. He also played a crucial role in the Dravidar Kazhagam, a movement that inspired the later rise of the Dravidian political parties in Tamil Nadu. There's 10 key highlights to know about Periyar. 1. Early disillusionment with religion. Periyar's visit to Kashi in his youth made him acutely aware of the hypocrisy and discrimination in the name of religion. 2. Self-Respect Movement, 1925. Periyar founded the Self-Respect Movement to empower lower castes and women, encouraging them to live with dignity and reject caste hierarchies. 3. Advocate for rationalism. He was a proponent of atheism and rational thinking, calling for the rejection of superstition, idol worship, and blind faith. 4. Champion of anti-caste movements. Periyar's entire life was devoted to dismantling the caste system, particularly targeting Brahminical dominance in society. 5. Women's rights advocate. He strongly advocated for gender equality, championing women's rights, opposing child marriage, and supporting widow remarriage. 6. Formation of Dravidar Kazhagam, 1944. He led the Dravidar Kazhagam, which became an important political and social movement that inspired Dravidian political parties like DMK and AIADMK. 7. Anti-Hindi protests. Periyar strongly opposed the imposition of Hindi in Tamil-speaking regions, viewing it as an attempt to undermine Tamil culture and Dravidian identity. 8. Breaking religious symbols. He was known for his radical actions, such as breaking idols of Hindu gods during public gatherings to demonstrate the futility of idol worship. 9. Opposition to Brahmanism. He criticized Brahmanism, not Brahmins as individuals, for promoting the hierarchical caste system that oppressed the non-Brahmin population. 10. Legacy. His ideas deeply influenced Tamil politics, leading to the rise of the Dravidian movement and a lasting cultural and social transformation in Tamil Nadu. Top 10 lessons to learn from Periyar. 1. Equality for all. Periyar believed in the inherent equality of all human beings, regardless of caste, gender, or religion. His fight against the caste system is a reminder that all people deserve dignity and respect. 2. Question authority. He encouraged people to question religious and societal norms that perpetuate inequality, urging individuals to think for themselves rather than accept traditional hierarchies. 3. Rational thinking. Periyar promoted rationalism and skepticism, teaching us that beliefs and practices should be based on logic and evidence rather than superstition or blind faith. 4. Empowerment of the marginalized. He showed that true social progress is impossible without uplifting the marginalized sections of society, particularly lower castes and women. 5. Gender equality. Periyar believed in equal rights for women, stressing the importance of women's education, financial independence, and participation in public life. 6. Courage to stand alone. Periyar was often isolated for his radical views, yet he stood firm in his convictions, teaching the value of courage in fighting for what's right, even when the odds are against you. 7. Self-respect. His self-respect movement emphasized that individuals should reject societal labels that degrade them and instead live with self-dignity and pride. 8. Cultural identity. Periyar emphasized the importance of preserving local languages and cultures, such as Tamil, against homogenizing forces like the imposition of Hindi. 9. Reform over revolution. While advocating for radical social change, Periyar showed that lasting change comes from reforming societal structures through education, advocacy, and cultural transformation. 10. Education as a tool for liberation. Periyar firmly believed that education was key to liberating people from oppression, superstition, and the shackles of caste and gender discrimination. Periyar's legacy continues to inspire movements for social justice, equality, and rationalism in India and beyond. His life is a testament to the power of persistent struggle against deeply entrenched inequalities. Here are 10 powerful quotes by Periyar E.V. Ramasamy that reflect his radical thinking, commitment to social justice, and advocacy for rationalism and equality. 1. There is no God. There is no God. There is no God at all. He who invented God is a fool. He who propagates God is a scoundrel. He who worships God is a barbarian. This quote reflects Periyar's strong stance on atheism and his opposition to the concept of God as a means of perpetuating oppression. 2. Wisdom lies in thinking. The spearhead of thinking is rationalism. Periyar emphasized the importance of rational thought and critical thinking over blind belief or superstition. 3. Man is equal to man. Caste does not differentiate man from man. Nothing will be achieved by following caste. A powerful statement against the caste system and in support of equality for all people, regardless of birth or social classification. 4. The purpose of life is to live with dignity and self-respect. Periyar advocated for the self-respect movement, encouraging people, especially the oppressed, to live with dignity and pride. 5. Only education, self-respect, and rational qualities will uplift the downtrodden. He believed that education and rationality were the key tools for the upliftment of marginalized communities. 6. Women should not be subjected to oppression in the name of religion, caste, or gender. They should be given equal rights. Periyar was a staunch advocate for women's rights and gender equality, fighting against patriarchy and traditional gender roles. 7. A male is able to achieve excellence by learning, not by caste. Education and knowledge should be the only criterion. This quote challenges the notion of caste-based privileges, asserting that merit and learning should be the basis of social standing. 8. Religion has been the basis for exploitation of the poor by the rich, of women by men, and of the lower castes by the upper castes. A reflection of his belief that religion was often used as a tool to justify social inequality and exploitation. 9. We are fit to think, fit to speak, and fit to act. Let us live as rational beings. Periyar's call for rational living, where thought, speech, and action are guided by reason and logic rather than dogma or tradition. 10. Politics exists only for the purpose of securing the necessary conditions for the social development of people. Periyar believed that politics should be used as a tool for social change, particularly to improve the conditions of the oppressed and marginalized. These quotes reflect Periyar's vision for a just, rational, and egalitarian society, free from discrimination, oppression, and superstition.